be back in my hometown. Just a little bit of history about who I am and what I've started working when I was 11 years old. I started babysitting. I got my first job outside of home working in the restaurant industry, and I stayed in that industry for a very long time. But I loved it. It was so much fun. Through that, I did get my master's degree from University of Michigan. I do not want to hear anything. Go Blue. So I started in network marketing to supplement my income over 20 years ago. I love this industry. I love this industry because you cannot be successful without helping other people. That's the one thing about network marketing that I love. But what it has allowed me to do is that it has allowed me to do other things in my life that I never thought possible, like never seeing another flake of snow again. But let me get down to brass tacks here. So I want to talk a little bit, I'm going to talk a lot about unsticking yourself, okay? So a lot of us, entrepreneurs, people in sales, people in network marketing, the biggest thing that happens to them often is they don't have enough new business coming in through their pipeline. They don't have enough new business coming in the door. This is why most of you, I'm assuming, are here today, right? Because you want to grow your business. So I want to ask you a question. Okay? Did you sit with people you don't know? Were you up talking to people before you sat down and had lunch? That's the whole purpose of this. Not net eating, not net drinking, right? We're here for a reason. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let me see if I am so technologically not. Okay, so let's talk about unsticking yourself in your business. And the one thing is that I find that business owners, no matter what business you have, you do stall. You do plateau. But during those times, what you do is what is going to propel your business to grow. Because what we do today affects what happens in 90 days. I know that, building my brand over the last 10 years is that I still have business that I started 10 years ago that's still coming through my door today. Sometimes people they go backwards or they feel like they're stuck in quicksand. So their mindset starts getting all clouded. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well, too. So, guys, this happens to everybody. It happens to me. I know that in my business, I had zero growth in Q4 of last year, my personal business. And that was my biggest problem because I was in management mode. I was trying to micromanage everybody else and try to help them when your focus has got to be on you and your business. The other thing that I'm going to ask you, if your business has stalled, are you playing the blame game? Okay? Are you blaming the economy? Are you blaming traffic? Are you blaming... No, those are excuses. Okay? You're either a victim or you're a victor in your business. I want to know, and I do this all the time. I do, my why vision casting. Every quarter, I put up a new vision board because you have to visualize what you want. And you know what? You've got to put down, and you've got to have these in front of you. I call them bag goals. Big, hairy, audacious goals. BHAG. You've got to you can't be where you were yesterday or today. When you wake up tomorrow and your feet hit the floor, what are you going to do more to make a difference? That's the big question. So if this makes you uncomfortable, then you really have to search within yourself of why it's making you uncomfortable. I want to ask you some questions, and I want you to reflect on those questions and be truthful, okay? So by a show of hands, how many people here are an entrepreneur? You own your own businesses. Awesome. That's great. How many of you in here are in network marketing? Great. How many of you in here are in sales? You guys, that's 95% of the whole room, okay? So here's another thing that I want you to think about. When you're at these events, okay, you want to come out, you don't want to be a card collector. You want to make 3 to 4 honest connections. And then when you leave here, what you need to do is you need to follow up with them. You need to either send them a text or an email, whatever their preferred method of communication is. And I always, when I meet somebody new, I'm finding them on social media, whatever their social media is of choice. So whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, social media is a huge tool for your business, but don't go on social media posting all about your business. You need to tell a story. Okay? If you're running a special or you have a customer referral program, tell a story of somebody that you were able to impact and help, because stories sell, facts tell. So the other thing that I want to talk about is that when you're in business and you're stuck, it shows. And sometimes you say to yourself, and you really get down on yourself, and you get pissed off, and you get upset, and you're like, why isn't this working? When honestly, if you keep consistent in your business, that will eventually come. Okay. The one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs don't have is they don't have consistency. Or if you're like me, okay, so my daughter, who's my assistant, is here. She does all the stuff I hate, like travel and events, and she does a lot of my social media, because that for me is not an income producing activity. When I'm out meeting people face to face, or speaking or teaching or coaching through my courses and my website, that for me is an income producing activity. So you have to ask yourself, what are you really good at? What is your strong suit? And then you surround yourself with others that don't have that skill set. You don't have that skill set that they have. That's really, really important. And the other thing is too, and you hear this all the time. I mean, Rachel Hollis talks about it. Tony Robbins talks about it. Truly, the 5 people that you spend most of your time with is a reflection of what they're making and what you're making. So you want to spend time with people that are making more money or in different businesses so that you can learn and have those takeaways for yourself. Here's another really good question that I want to ask you. Would you do business with you? Would you do business with yourself? So if you're saying, well, maybe. Okay, I do it all the time. I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't talk to people today. I probably should go, stick my head in the sand as an ostrich and kind of hang out there because I'm not having a good day. But the question is do you provide excellent customer service? Okay, so if we're not taking care of ourselves, it's hard to do business with others. And sadly, we're often not taught these skills. We're taught to put everyone else first. This does not come easy. It takes practice and the ability to fail, sometimes to express humility and maintain a coachable spirit. So would you do business with you? That's a really good question to ask yourself. And write down the pros and the cons. I'll tell you something, you guys. I suck at follow-up. I really do. It's my biggest challenge that I have in my business. But do you know why they say that the fortune is in the follow-up? There's a reason for that. And oftentimes what happens is that as entrepreneurs, we quit after the third no. 90% of people quit after the third no, when it takes you 5 to 7 times to get to a yes. And then if you're selling a bigger ticket item, insurance policy, maybe you sell nice cars, maybe you sell homes, it's going to take you even more exposures to get to a yes. So being consistent and follow up, that does not mean you are a stalker. Please don't do that, okay? Have a systematic way of following up with people. Connect with them on social media. Ask to put them on your email list. But again, follow up is really key, and you want to keep dripping on them. Let's see, okay. I want to talk about successful people have a positive mental attitude. This, you guys, is huge. And they possess a genuine happiness even when things don't appear to be so positive. Because people do business with people that they trust, they know, and they admire, it's important that you always have a PMA, and that's what people are attracted to. So, and I use this analogy a lot. Actually, the slide shows a little bit further along. But I just think about it. Think about Eeyore, right? Oh, it's going to rain today. Better stay inside. When there's not a cloud in the sky, right? Do you like being around those people? No. You've got to be a Tigger. You've got to be joyous and embrace and have passion for your business every single day. Now, maybe some of you in here in your room don't really like your job. It's not your path. That's a whole nother conversation for another time. But if you're going to get up and do something, you've got to give it your 110%. Okay? That is just a natural way that you grow your business by emitting positivity. Here's what I have also found out about most successful people. Not all, but most. They give and keep their word. They have the best interest of their customers at heart, and it shows. They are busy and successful. I'm not going to use the word busy. I'm going to say productive. Okay? Instead of you saying, I'm too busy, I'm too productive. Change that and see how that works for you. They relate with real people in a professional and caring way. They are humble, and they help others in every way that they can. Malcolm Gladwell wrote a great book. If y'all ever read the book, The Tipping Point, It's an awesome book. So if you want to figure out what kind of person you are, get that book because, it describes, I'm a connector. So I want to connect people. Like I was just talking to Al, and God bless her heart, I haven't seen her in probably 6 years. And she saw that I was speaking here. She's like, I'm going to go see Toni. And it was great because, it just social media connects us. So it's just really amazing. But even though I haven't seen her in 6 years, she's one of the most positive, bubbly people that I've ever met. And those are the kind of people I want to hang out with. New business, okay? So the one thing is that having those new people in your pipeline, this means getting yourself together and putting yourself out there. A lot of times this propels people out of their comfort zone. As a matter of fact, I have some of my business partners here today, and I'm like, are you going to networking meetings? It's a great way to meet people. You've got to get out there. There's so many different places that you can meet people. I work my business on purpose. When I'm out, my daughter's like, Mom, can you please just shut up? And I'm out traveling or out and about. I meet people all the time, but I work my business on purpose. So I can work my business in the Starbucks line. I can work my business sitting at a bar in an airport. I work my business because where I live in Charleston now, I was actually the one that opened the entire southeast part of the United States. I didn't know a soul in Charleston when we moved there. I went to the chamber and I started going to chamber meetings and networking meetings. And that's how I, genuinely built a business. I did the same thing when I moved to Chicago here with the handbag company that Carrie and I were in together. I didn't know a soul when I moved from Detroit to Chicago except for my husband. And trust me, he didn't want to hear me talk all the time either. But I got really involved. I checked meetups. I checked Eventbrites. And I did a lot of stuff with the SBA when I used to live here. So we did eWomen's Network. There's so many opportunities to meet new people. Just go Google it. So here's the other thing I'm going to ask you today. Most everybody's done eating, right? Okay, good. Well, if you're not done eating, too bad. So here's what I want to do, okay? I want you guys, and you're going to have to get up from your table probably. I want you to go to somebody else in this room, and you have 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to introduce yourself, tell them what you do, and tell them what you like to do in your favorite, what's your favorite hobby. So you have 3 minutes apiece to introduce each other to each other and make a new connection. So you guys, I'm going to time you right now. So you have 3 minutes. So go ahead and get up and let's go meet somebody new. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would strongly encourage before you leave today that you make at least 2 more meaningful connections just like you did now. But the key is going to be to follow up with these people, sit down, have a coffee appointment with them, or go for happy hour and have a glass of wine or whatever and get to know them. But it's not all about you. You want to find out how you can connect and serve with those other people that you meet. That's when you're not going to... Sometimes it does happen where you meet someone, there's an instant connection, and you do business right away. Honestly, at the end of the day, relationships take time, even in business. So you have to grow those relationships organically because people will do more business with you. And I'm going to say it again, when they know, like, and trust you. Folks, social media, I love social media. It accounts for 80% of my business on every given day. But the thing about it is that like I was messaging before, you have to be relatable. I cannot tell you, and I'm telling you, Instagram and LinkedIn actually LinkedIn is the worst when it comes to people sending spammy messages. Because as soon as they connect with you, they expect that you're going to do business with them or get in the front door. When you're sending out messages, make sure that you are building a relationship with that person. Go like their posts, comment on their posts, get to know who they are. And then you develop the relationship from there. I will tell you, I will never do business with people when I open up a novel and they're trying to pitch me their business and I don't even know them. Don't be those people. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so the other thing is, too, in-person connections are critical for success. The opportunities are truly endless. Think first about your day-to-day life and recall the places you frequent as you're living your life. So I talked about living your life on purpose. This is about you going out every single day and meeting people. But here's the best part. All of these people know people. They have brothers, they have sisters, they have dogs, if you do something in the pet care industry. I mean, so many different things. So, again, go where your life takes you. Maybe, and Kim and I, my new friend, were just talking about this. Maybe I love yoga. And so in my yoga class, everybody knows what I do. And so I have a lot of those women in there and men that are clients of mine. Go ahead, next slide. How about, come on, we can always get together. Like, how about a wine club, a book club? Maybe you knit. Maybe you're in a sports, what do they call those things? Where you do the draw? I forget what they're called. My husband would remind me. Obviously, I'm not a sports enthusiast. But also, too, you guys, you can overhear people talking all the time. And you might know somebody. I walked up to Target the other day in Target, and there was a lady there, and she was complaining about a problem that she was having. And I looked at her, and I go, I have the perfect person for you. And so I connected her with one of my friends that I knew that could help her. So you always want to be listening for conversations. And when you refer people out, people are going to refer back to you. Okay? It's just how it works. The law of the universe, right? The other thing is, too, is that you want to make sure that you're also making those connections purposeful for both you and the other person involved, or maybe it's a group of people. Next slide, please. I'm so glad I have a professional slide person. So here's what I always talk about, expanding your circle, okay? I call it Franks. Not the hot dogs, not Franks and Beans, that movie. No, Franks. So here's a great way to expand your contact list. Friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, pimp out your kids, because they know people, and your social media and social circles. I think this is really easy to remember. That way, when you how many people actually in here have a contact list that they add to on a regular basis? You know what? Every single hand in this room should be going up if you are an entrepreneur or in any kind of sales. Because when you have, I just have Moleskine. I have my Moleskine little book. I write everything down. So for you Excel users, that's just my way of keeping organized. But stay organized with whatever works for you, but you want to get out there and, again, ask for the referral. If you have somebody that you're doing business with and they know you, ask them. Just say, who do you know? Who do you know that I could help? Who do you know that I could serve? But the whole thing is that if you're not asking, the answer is always no. So you've got to get your ask in gear. Totally serious, okay? Next slide, please. When you are in business, okay, and you're providing excellent customer service, you want to, you guys, there's programs, there's apps out there, there's websites that will do this for you. A loyalty program, okay? Like where they collect stars or they collect points. Like everybody knows DSW, right? They have a great loyalty and rewards program. I get so excited when I go in there to buy shoes that I go up to and she's like, do you want to know how many points you have? You got a $5 off coupon. Awesome. So what does that create? That creates loyalty from the customer because they're going to go back and buy because they got a $5 coupon. You never know who that next person is going to be a client. So you don't want to prejudge people because when you prejudge people, you've already put them in the no box. You've already made the decision for them. So the incredible thing is it's called The Power of One. There's actually a book out about it. I've read it like 3 times and the name of the author is escaping me. But there's another guy that I follow that I think is just amazing. His name is Ed Mylett. And he was talking about this on his podcast the other day about the power of one. And about how one more person that you don't know that you could meet here potentially today could have a huge positive impact on your life from here on out. You just never know who that one person is. Okay? So that's why, you know what? Stay on the phone. Do one more call. Do one more sales call. Go to a networking event tonight. Meet one more person. The power of one has so much of a ripple effect because you don't know what they know and you don't know who they know. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to talk about, I touched a little bit on mindset. Next slide, please. Okay, so the one thing that I want to talk about is happiness matters. And I'm a huge personal development person. I don't spend so much time personally developing that I'm not actually out there in action, because that will help me refine my skills. But if you don't get out there and take action, then you're never going to see a positive upswing in your checking account. But the one thing that I want to talk about, there's a 2-book series called The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor. And he went to school at Harvard, smart guy. But the one thing is that the 5 hidden keys to achieving success, spreading happiness, and sustaining positive change, where it is statistically proven that happy people are more successful. Okay, these were Harvard studies done. Research shows, I must put on my glasses now. 50 hit me kind of hard. When people work with a positive mindset, performance on nearly every level, productivity, creativity, engagement improves. Yet, happiness is perhaps the most misunderstood driver of performance. And for one, most people believe that success precedes happiness. Once I get the promotion, I'll be happy. Or they think, once I hit my sales target, I'll feel great. But success is a moving target. And as soon as you hit that target, you've got to raise the bar. And that happiness that results from success is fleeting. To achieve and sustain the success you desire, find your happiness first. Most of all, being happy often means finding a way to let all of the negativity, small and big, insignificant problems roll off your back. Doing this is a huge part of moving forward, not getting stuck or buying into the negativity. My constant mantra for dealing with rejection is, you know what? And my husband pounded this into my head. Last 10 years, you gotta be a ducky and you gotta let it roll off. Because here's the thing. People's opinions don't pay your bills, okay? You've gotta be out there every single day looking for new clients, every single day looking for new customers. And you guys, if you think that you can micromanage, let's say you have employees that sell for you, you got to teach them the same thing. Because if they're not being taught how, they're going to say, oh, well, he's just going to sit there in his office all day with the door shut. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. If you are also putting yourself out there, your business takes time and hearing a lot of no's, okay? Guys, if I don't get 20 no's a week, with what in any of my businesses, I'm not out there enough. So I strive to get at least 50 no's a week. Nope, not right now. It's just timing. And that's all no means. So let's talk about and let's divorce yourself from a no. Okay? How many people in here get told no, in your business all the time? Okay? It's just the timing isn't right. No means not right now. Unless they tell you, no, don't ever talk to me ever again. That's another story. You probably shouldn't. Yes, so 100% commitment to your success and serving the needs of your customers determine how your product or service fills a need for them, and it fills a need for others. So here's my question to you. Do you save them time? Do you save them money? Do you make them money? Or do you help them to feel better? Okay? You have to be the expert in what you're peddling or selling. You've got to have passion for it, because people are not going to want to do business with people that aren't passionate about what they are doing. So here's the thing, you guys. Your business can serve probably the needs of every single person in this room. But, and I'm going to just use this as a blanket, because I know a few people in here that sell insurance, but I want to use insurance because it's really simple. You may have insurance. Everybody needs insurance. You need life insurance. You need health insurance. You need long-term care insurance, which I just found out because my mother-in-law is 80, and that has been a whole different story. But you know what? You may have an insurance person that you love. Who knows? They may retire. And then that person, you remembered them because you connected and you have a relationship. You're like, oh my gosh, they're retiring. I'm going to go see this person for business. So you just never know. So the one thing is, if you can take away anything from this today, is that always be a champion for yourself, be a champion for your business, and also be a champion for helping others. Because if you help them get what they want, it is 95% of the time reciprocal. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I will be here after. I am going to do some self-promotion here. I think it's really important. I did talk a little bit. I do have my speaking platform, and this was a brand new speech that I just wrote for this, so it was kind of choppy, so I apologize a little bit. and I've been practicing it for weeks. But I also love what I do so much that I wrote a book, and it's all branded under effing simple, ha ha ha, because I couldn't use the actual F word. I was afraid that some of my business partners would get really upset with me. And not only that, there are 12 bestsellers out there with that word in it, so I wanted to be different. But ultimately, what this book is about sales. It is about network marketing as well, because that is the industry that I love. That is the industry that I have seen help so many people. And if you have any questions about it, there's a lot of amazing people in this room that are in this industry. But this was written for sales professionals. It's a no-nonsense guide. It's actually a workbook. You have to actually fill out stuff in here. It's a really easy read. It takes you about 90 minutes if you read it from cover to cover. But this was a huge thing on my bucket list. And so I have them here. If you want a signed copy, please let me know. I'm selling them at cost. And if you hate the book, email me. I'll give you your money back. So I really want to thank you for taking time. I am praying that you got at least 2 tangible things from my discussion today, that you can end this meeting today, and before you leave, that you can apply, and then you walk out that door and you can take 2 or 3 things that you can apply to your business, like right now. So also, I'm on social media. Everything is branded under the Toni Vans. I would love to connect with you. I'm on everything. So social media is huge for branding. But if you have any other questions, if there's any more information that you'd like, my daughter is here. She is my assistant. She's amazing. I also have some amazing people that I have known for many years that are here as well, and some people that are a part of the business here in the Chicagoland area. So again, we have some raffles, don't we? Yay! I brought some stuff.
Cheers for Toni.